Hey guys, it's Tim coming at you with a brand new Pacific Rim related video for this week. So similar to a video I did previously on potential future Jaeger weapons, this time I'm going to take a look at the other side of the equation and look at potential future abilities that we can see in Kaiju in the new movies. Especially since we saw even in the original Pacific Rim that the Kaiju are always growing and gaining new abilities. So it'd be interesting to posit what those potential abilities could be. Like with the Jaegers, keeping it within the realms of possibility that we've seen within the universe so far. So to kick things off, let's look at an ability that would be substantially useful both offensively and defensively. Regeneration. Surprisingly, none of the Kaiju we've seen so far have shown the ability to regrow limbs or to heal themselves from injury, which is interesting considering the reptilian look of a lot of them. And this would be especially useful considering that a lot of Jaegers that we've seen before and are seeing for this new movie use a lot of physical weaponry, like swords and maces. Having this ability would not only help with Kaiju survivability, but it would also mean that in order to defeat them, the Jaegers would have to be a lot more precise and aim for areas that would kill their opponent instantly. Now obviously having this ability would be pretty overpowered, so I can see why it hasn't been done yet, but it would be an interesting direction to go with the Kaiju going forward. But sticking on the defensive end, we've seen a lot of Kaiju with thick hides in order to protect them from physical damage. But one thing that would be interesting would be to have them have some sort of retractable plating. Some sort of armor plating that they could call upon to protect certain portions of their body from extensive physical damage and even from projectile attacks like the plasma caster. But with the downside of a lack of mobility for that particular portion of their body. The name of the game is keeping the Kaiju in the fight for as long as possible, since there's only a finite amount of Jaegers that are around at any given time. And by having this plating be retractable, it means that they wouldn't have to specialize the different Kaiju in being defensive or being more so striker types. They can choose to have the armoring down so they can move around more easily at the expense of being more vulnerable, or they can decide to stay in one place and tank attacks to wait out or distract their opponents. But moving on from defensive options to offensive options, we've seen Kaiju in this series with Acid Spit and the ability to create EMP blasts, but surprisingly we haven't seen any with breath attacks. Especially since that's the signature move of the most well-known Kaiju in the world, Godzilla. The EMP that we saw being used was mostly used as a disabling tool with no real offensive capability to it, at least that we've seen. But it'd be interesting to see if they could rechannel that same energy into the mouths of the Kaiju in order to send it out as one concentrated blast of energy, electrical or otherwise. Or they could go the route of certain dragon lore and have the Kaiju breathe out some sort of flammable gas similar to how we breathe out carbon dioxide that they can ignite inside their mouths in order to turn it into a stream of fire. Because right now, one of the biggest advantages that the Jaegers have over the Kaiju is their distance game. They have missiles and plasma energy that they can shoot out to attack from a distance, where most Kaiju pretty much attack solely physically. So evening out that battlefield seems to be in the Kaiju's best interest. But those are just a few ideas of potential future Kaiju abilities that we could see with upcoming Kaiju, but what do you guys think? What abilities would you like to see the Kaiju have in this series, within reason? Well, as always, let us know down in the comments, and if you're interested in hearing more Pacific Rim related content, feel free to click that subscribe button and the bell next to it to be immediately informed whenever a new video goes up. But until next time, this has been Tim from the Hybrid Network, signing out.